Hey guys, welcome back to the Electric Bike Laboratory. Today we're doing part 3 of the RadRunner series. So in the first video we did the controller upgrade, second video we did the lights upgrade, front and back with signals, horn, etc. And on this third one we're doing an extension battery pack, custom designed. We're just going to show you if you want to build one of your own, what that's going to look like. So right here we've got the battery on the back, and this one is a 48 volt 21 amp hour, but you could go up to 41, 24.5 amp hour if you're using, in this case, 18650 cells and 3500 milliamp hour capacity. We're running 3000 milliamp hour capacity, so that's how we get to our 21 amp hour. But this bike is basically pretty modded out now. We've got lots of power, we got lots of battery range, lots of visible lights, and we even redid all the brakes. So now this bike is ready to go and it's pretty awesome. All right, so let's talk about how we actually put this battery together. So here is a picture of the housing. This was a 3D printed housing. It took a couple design revisions in order to get it to fit nicely, but the design does allow for a parallel module at the front. And so it's got lots of space in the battery compartment for these cells right here. So what we have is a 13S7P pattern. So we've got 13 cells long, and then we've got 7 layers. So in a 48 volt battery, you actually have 13 cells in series. Every cell has a nominal voltage of 3.7 volts, and there's 13 of them. So that's how we get to 48.1 volts. And basically what we're doing here is every cell is going to be one of our cells in series. So we're going to start off with a negative, and then the next is going to be positive, negative, positive, and it flips all the way until the very end. So this just comfortably fits into that enclosure and allows for even a BMS on the end. So our 13S7P, because we have 3000 milliamp hour cells, or they're 3 amp hours in this case, our 7P times 3 amp hour is going to yield us 21 amp hours, which is a pretty good increase of range considering that the original is 14 amp hours. So we're getting about 2.5 times more than stock, extra 150%, which is pretty awesome. If you have higher capacity cells like 3500 milliamp hour, you can get 24.5. So that'd be the maximum in this configuration for 13S7P. So when this is laying inside the compartment, we've got about a centimeter or so of movement for the wires, or of room for the wires. So it's kind of just enough. You want to fish paper and shrink wrap. You could even do a very thin sheet of fiberglass all around, and you'll still have room to close the lid. This is the type of nickel strips that we used in order to build the pack. It is like a wavy pattern, and this allows us to connect one group to the next, to the next, to the next, all the way through. You don't have to use this stuff. It's pretty handy if you can get your hands on it. You can probably find it on Amazon. Just make sure that it's intended for 18650 cells with cell holders. So that spacing is going to be very important. It's going to be around 20 millimeter spacing from center to center of each cell. So for the wavy strips, you're going to have 12 of those pieces total that are going to run vertically here. You're going to have 6 on one side with the positive end, and then on the other, you're going to have 6 with the negative end, and that's going to make up your 13S battery. So the ends are just going to be regular nickel strips that get welded in, not the wavy type. So these are called dislocation type cell brackets, sometimes referred to as honeycomb cell holders. In our case, we got ones that are 13 long, and they just link together one to the next to the next. So we have 7 of them that are linking together. The advantage of these is that they allow you to compress the amount of cells in a given space. Instead of stacking one on top of the other on top of the other, this allows you to go in between and kind of fit into what would otherwise be the gaps, and it allows you to fit more batteries in a given area. So this is really the only way in this area that we were able to fit these 13S 7P, which is 91 cells, into this area. So For your BMS, you're going to need a 13S BMS, and you're going to want it rated ideally at least 40 amps. You can even go up to 60 amps. We used 60 amps because these are 7 cells in parallel that are able to do 10 amps each. So you could technically run 70 amps out of it, although don't recommend running that high, of course. The stock controller only runs about 22 amps. The modified controller only runs 35 amps. So a 40 amp BMS is totally adequate. That's all you need. A company like Dali is a really common one, but other ones are like JBD or Ant if you're running Bluetooth. As long as you're 40 amps continuous, you should be good. What you're going to notice is there are 14 wires on your BMS. You're going to have 13 go to every positive, and then you're going to have the one negative go to the negative terminal. So a 13S battery will always have 14 wires total. All right, so here is a look at all of the weld marks. They're all placed. The pack is totally welded up. We've got the 6 wavy strips on one side, and then the positive on the one side, and then we got the 6 wavy strips on the other side with the negative. You can see that all of the balance leads are running up here. And pretty much what you're going to have is you're going to have the first balance lead is going to go on the negative, and then the second is going to crisscross on the other side. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, all the way until you get to your 14th and final wire, which is going to connect to your positive terminal. Every time that there is a crossover section of the wire, make sure to add an extra layer of insulation. Awesome, so we have the battery now placed inside of the container for the RadPower rear rack underneath battery. As you can see, it fits in there nice. It's a little bit tight, which is okay. We'll probably adjust the model a little bit so there's a little bit more clearance for the next ones, but it's pretty good. So we got our discharge cable coming right through here. This is the area where you can run a parallel module if you'd like. A parallel module just fits in there. And we've got our lid, which is going to seal all this off. And it's got the 2 different sections, screws going all the way in. And the last thing that we really need to do is install this charge port. So I'm going to feed this through, solder on an XT30, plug into this XT30, and then I'm just going to tuck it into this little space here, and from there we should be good to put the lid on. So we've applied a silicone seal to the lid all the way around, and that is now in, and we've got these screws that are ready to go into our lid. So I'm just going to get this lid installed. All right, so we have this little section right here, and we basically designed that so that you could fit a parallel module in there. So we got this battery. I'll just show you what it looks like if we were plugging this battery in, and then say we were plugging in another battery, like the original battery, and we can tuck that in, and it allows us to get everything in there and kind of hide it. So it's just kind of a nice little secret hiding spot for the parallel battery module. I just wanted to show you that quickly. So we're using these 40mm M6 stainless bolts in order to secure the battery to the frame. So we're going to be putting those right through the frame here. And we've got these nylock washers, or sorry, these nylock nuts and some washers to go underneath just to help distribute the load a little bit better. So we will get those installed and get this battery bolted up. Well guys, that's it. That is our RadRunner series. I really hope you guys liked it. I know we had a lot of fun putting this bike together, building it, feeling the power of the upgrades and the battery. I think the battery looks pretty good too. We're pretty happy with it. So thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Be sure to like, subscribe if you like the channel, and hit us up on Instagram, Electric Bike Laboratory on Instagram. But as always guys, we appreciate it. Drop us a comment, let us know what you think, and let us know what you want to see. We are definitely trying to find those comments and run with some of your guys' ideas. So we really do appreciate them. But we'll see you in the next one. Make sure to keep it on 2 wheels. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to drop a comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you'd like to see. We want to hear about it. And if you want to watch another video, click on this one right here. Or if you want to see what kind of e-bike stuff that we've got, check out this link right here.